the 42nd Virginia and the 4th Virginia. Gentlemen, Virginia. And from my own home state, the 1st Texas. And next to them are the Louisiana Zouaves, Copans. And next to them is our famous surgeon, saws a lot. He doesn't drink much, really. he's busy. And in the background you see over there our battery today, which is made up of and this gentleman who just stepped up is Major Reeves. He's responsible for all those explosions you saw in the field today. Commanding the battery is Lieutenant Colonel Jones. Franklin, I beg your pardon, Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel Battalion. Lieutenant Colonel Franklin and his adjutant, his faithful adjutant, Captain Henry Martin. Give them a big hand. They won for a change. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Now I'll turn you over to this fine major here, who's going to introduce you to the brave line in blue.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Isabella. That was a fantastic introduction for our friends in gray. Now I'd like to tell you about the boys in blue. Hope you all enjoyed it this afternoon. My name is Mark Richardson, but out on the field today I'm Major Isaac Chadwick, and I also want to say, as one of the event co-coordinators, it's been our pleasure to bring this event for 4 years now to Red Bluff, and I'm very gratified to see the crowds that we have out here this weekend. It's been a great weekend. Hope you've all enjoyed the show afterwards. Don't forget to visit all of the camps, Confederate down here to my left, Union and civilian up there. There are also civilians down here in the Confederate camp. There's Confederate artillery. There's Union artillery. Make sure you get through and see it all. It's a lot of things to see, and I think you'll really enjoy it. All right, let's start down here on the far right. Way on the far right, the fellows who died gloriously at their guns today. I think they're all having dinner in Fiddler's Green this evening. That's the men of the Rolling Thunder, the long arm of the Federal Artillery of the Army of the Potomac, and they're commanded by Major Tom Osborne. Cheering for the artillery. Now a little bit closer here, the mounted unit that you see on my far right. These are members of the 1st U.S. Dragoons. They have both 1861. They were the men who built Fort Crook just a little ways north of here. They were then called out to the Eastern Theater in 1861 and served honorably in that theater throughout the war. The men of the 1st U.S. Dragoons and their supply wagon. Coming down the line, the men in green. That's an early form of camouflage that you're seeing there. In the early 1860s, a man by the name of Hiram Berdan went to the president with an interesting idea to form 2 regiments, and they were designated as federal regiments. They were known as the U.S. Sharpshooters, 1st and 2nd U.S. Sharpshooters. They were recruited from throughout the Union Army as men who were proven marksmen. They were given additional training. They were deployed as snipers and sharpshooters, and you saw today they had the thankless task of trying to get out there and hold the field and pick off the enemy until our infantry and our artillery could get up today. So I give you Company F, 1st United States Sharpshooters. All right, now this long line in blue, there's a small segment of it. We've been joined by some of our friends from our sister club in Nevada, the Comstock Civil War reenactors, and we have a unit here called the 2nd U.S., and these are a group of regulars, but they've fallen in today with the 72nd New York. I'd like to recognize our friends from the 2nd U.S. And the rest of this long line in blue, sort of the backbone of the Union Army, is one of many volunteer regiments. At the beginning of the Civil War, maybe only 16,000 regulars in the United States Army, The bulk of the troops, and there were several million of them by the end of the war that had gone through the federal war machine, came from the states as volunteers. And the 72nd New York was one of those volunteer regiments, raised in 1861, fought in every major campaign in the Eastern Theater through 1864 when they were disbanded, primarily because their enlistments had run out and their numbers had been severely depleted. At any rate, I give you Company C, 72nd New York Volunteer Infantry.
3 cheers for the Grand Army of the Republic! Let's go!
I would like to also really quickly give you some further acknowledgments here. A couple of people serving on my staff today. We have Regimental Sergeant Major Tom Hubbard and First Lieutenant Dan Baldwin is my adjutant, and also is our Provost Marshal on the Union side. Do I have someone else I've missed there? The musicians, I am so sorry. They add so much to our show. These fellas, these cadets down here have been coming along over the last several years. They're also members of the California Consolidated Drum Band, and I think they do a fine job of keeping our spirits up while we're out on the field. So let's hear it for our music. I'm going to now turn it over to Major Franklin, and he's going to lead the two battalions in a combined salute to the audience.
Company, hard, hard. Forward march. Company, draft, left. Front. About. Base. Ready. Hey. Fire. Cover arm. Shoulder arm. About. Hey. Somebody told me to write that to everybody. Yeah.